Hello everyone, and in today's video I'm going to be reacting to the entire story of Honkai Impact 3 in 20 minutes by Homnu Labs. If you do enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. So this is pretty much a recap of Part 1 and 1.5 of Honkai Impact. And I want to watch this before I go to Part 2 so I can remember everything, because to be honest, I barely remember what happened at the start of the game. I gotta be honest, that was 2 years ago. My memory ain't that great. I barely remember it. So I really want to do this, get a whole refresher before I start part 2 next week. Which, yes, next week I'll be starting part 2, which I am very excited for. I am really hoping it doesn't go over, yeah, okay, it goes to chapter 42. I was hoping it wasn't going to go into that, like, middle section between between part 1 and part 2, but it's not, which is great. The one that had Kiana and the 2 new characters in it, but I guess that is the start of part 2. So we're going to go over this. I am very, very excited to watch this. Let's go! I mean, yeah, it's nothing else. Let's go.
Honkai Impact 3 is one of the longest ongoing narratives created by Hoyoverse,
comes with 2015,
spanning over 8 years worth of content.
2016.
The question that most people have in the beginning is, what is the Honkai? Well, Honkai can actually mean 3 different things depending on the context used in the game. The most common use refers to the Honkai phenomena, a mysterious and destructive force that plagues Earth in Honkai Impact 3. The Honkai usually grows alongside technological advancements of civilizations, manifesting through plagues, natural disasters, and even monsters such as zombies and Honkai beasts. The second meaning refers to Honkai energy, which causes the Honkai phenomena. Honkai energy is extremely dangerous to humans due to the radiation it emits, but it powers almost everything in the story, from the battles it's used in combat to the mechs and other weapons. Lastly, the third meaning is the Cocoon of Finality, a higher dimensional being and the main perpetrator of the Honkai phenomena. Previous era, a highly advanced period from 50,000 years ago. The Cocoon of Finality trapped Earth in a 50,000 year loop where every time the Earth is destroyed, it gets reset. The previous era is the previous cycle, and many technologies from that time were preserved or reproduced in the current era. Valkyries are a group of female warriors enhanced by a genetic imprint known as stigmata, and they are the main force tasked with fighting the Honkai. There are 2 types of stigmata: natural, which awakens on its own in selected individual, and artificial, an attempt to recreate the stigmata technology in the current era, though it's far from perfect. The person responsible for copying the stigmata technology in the current era is Ado Apocalypse, the overseer of Shixal, the main organization on Earth tasked with fighting the Honkai.
You mean the White Shah?
Notable organizations include Anti-Entropy, which used to be part of Shixal but broke away due to disagreements with Ato's methods. Instead of human warriors, Anti-Entropy uses mechs powered by Honkai energy. The sovereign of Anti-Entropy is none other than Weltiang, the first Hersher. The last notable organization is Word Serpent, which traces its roots back to the previous era. They use previous era technology, and their main goal is to enact Project Stigma, a frightening plan from the previous era meant to end the Honkai at the cost of humanity itself. The leader of Word Serpent is Kevin Kaslana, a warrior from the previous era who survived in the current one. Honkai gives birth to powerful entities called Hershers who can bend physical laws. Normally, Hershers are under the influence of the Cocoon of Finality as they are projections of its powers. However, due to the sacrifice of a certain Hersher from the previous era, the Hershers of the current era are no longer tied to the Cocoon's influence. Additionally, the birth of a Hersher is always accompanied by the formation of a Hersher core, which you can think of as a source of power for a Hersher, allowing them to draw Honkai into physical world and bend the laws of nature. Some Hersher cores are also referred to as gems, but note that they are the same thing.
Story recap. Alright, let's do it. Sorry, I was actually making sure I was recording. I am so paranoid that I'm not recording. Alright, story recap.
Chapter 1 begins with Kiana Kaslana, May Raiden, and Bronya Zaichi, 3 Valkyrie trainees sent to stop a rogue battleship powered by Honkai energy from destroying a city. After reaching the control room, they learned that the battleship was gifted to Kiana by an unknown party who also tasked her with gathering 4 keys, each corresponding to a Hersher gem left behind years ago during the second eruption when Sirin, the second Herschel, almost destroyed Earth. Suddenly, the microchip implanted in Bronya's brain is hacked by Cocolia, an anti-entropy agent, forcing her to attack Kiana and May. They manage
Alright,
to
okay.
subdue her and they begin their journey to find the keys.
I remember
Later,
that,
they
but I don't
find
remember how it
one of the
happened.
keys, the Gem of Desire, in Shixal's Oceania branch, implanted in a young Valkyrie named Wendy. Due to the
Bro, Wendy, bro. Oh my god. I swear, Wendy is a character that literally. I forget. I forget about Wendy, bro. I forget because. Holy, it's been. She died in chapter 3.
In
I'm pretty
Shixal's
sure.
Oceania
Or
branch,
chapter 4.
implanted in a young Valkyrie named Wendy. Due to the implant, Wendy lost her ability to walk and harbors deep feeling of hatred towards the people who did this to her. This hatred leads her to become the fourth Herrscher who has authority over wind. They stop Wendy, but
Venti?
Bronia's microchip is hacked again by Cocolia,
Venti
who
a
kidnaps
Herrscher?
both Wendy and May. Also, I forgot to mention, May is actually the third Herrscher who has authority over lightning. Kiana, Teresa, and Himeko team up to save
Was she a Herrscher at this time, though? I'm pretty sure. I guess she was.
them. They rescue May, but Wendy is killed by Cocolia. Bronya falls into a coma after burning the microchip in her head. To find a way to save Bronya, Teresa enters Shixal's secret library to search for a cure. This library can create a virtual world of events that happened in the past. Kiana follows Teresa and ends up witnessing the events of the second eruption when her mother, Cecilia Shariak,
Oh, that's how that happened, bro. I don't think that clicked at the time. I don't think that clicked at the time. Oh, okay. Maybe it did, but I think I literally just forgot. Oh, so that's how that happened. So Teresa had a machine that could recreate the things of the past, and then Kiana got sucked into it, and then that happened.
died fighting the Herrscher
Alright.
of the Void. But everything turns out to be an illusion created by Searing to break Kiana's spirit and take over her body. Fu Hua, who was an undercover agent sent by Aro, kidnaps Kiana and brings her to Shixal HQ. In order to get Kiana back, Teresa decides to ally with Dr. Einstein and Tesla from Anti-Entropy. At the same time, it is revealed that Aro's goal was to revive the second Herrscher and that Kiana was a genetically modified clone created to house Syrian's consciousness. The Senfrea group infiltrates Shixal HQ, but it's too late to stop Aro's plan. The Herrscher of the Void takes over Kiana's body, and all attempts to fight her prove futile. The Herrscher even extracts the Gem of Conquest from May. Even Fu Hua, revolted by Aro's actions, turns on him, but Aro shoots her. Aro then reveals that his true plan is to have a Valkyrie sacrifice herself to stimulate Kiana's emotions, allowing her to regain control over her body and becoming a human who can use Herrscher powers. Unfortunately, Aro's plan succeeds after Himeko, guided by Fu Hua's consciousness, dons a powerful battlesuit from the previous era. This gives Himeko enough power to fight the Herrscher of the Void, but she ends up sacrificing herself to bring Kiana back. The events pick up 4 months later.
People talk about that to this day, bro. People talk about Himeko dying to this day. I think the main reason people do is one, that was probably the most significant death in Hoyoverse history. And two, well, I mean, Himiko's brought up every fucking is brought up all the time in Honkai Star Rail, and all think she's gonna die. So yeah,
sacrificing herself to bring Kiana back. The
she's brought up all the time.
4 months later, Kiana is still missing, and the Saint Freya group heads to Arc City to make contact with a broker named Great Serpent, who has information about Kiana's whereabouts. By the time they arrive, Great Serpent has already been killed by Rita, a Shixal agent sent by Ado. Afterward, we learn that Great Serpent is still alive. In fact, he's not even a human, but a mass-produced robot behind the World Serpent organization. Their goal is to free their leader, Kevin Kaslana, from the Sea of Quanta. To explain this briefly, the Sea of Quanta is a chaotic space with its own unique laws. The sea also contains the so-called bubble worlds, which, as the name suggests, are unstable worlds born from the sea. Kevin, the leader of War Serpent, was cast into the sea 1,500 years ago. We also learned that...
Okay, yeah, so you probably learned that from the manga. I haven't read any of the manga, so... There's a lot of stuff I actually don't know because I don't read the manga. And gotta be honest, I think when I found out there was a manga and everything, I think it was already too late at that point. I was already too far in the game, and I was like, it was way too late. And gotta be honest, I wouldn't even be close to finishing the game at this point. Like, close to finishing even part 1 anymore. So yeah, so he was cast 1,500 years ago. That's actually so long ago. I didn't know that at all. So this is a good thing about watching this. It's like I learned about stuff that I didn't even know about. So okay,
was cast into the sea 1,500 years ago. We also learned that Wal Tiang, the sovereign of anti-entropy, ended up in the Sea of Quanta and remained there to ensure that Kevin wouldn't escape. The group splits into two. Teresa, Bronya, and Einstein go.
Oh my god, bro! Chapter 10. I'm gonna be honest. Chapter 10 was the arc that, because I was gonna like split it into 2 days, but chapter 10 was so good that I just did it all in one day. I remember that. I still remember how good it was because I was going to split it into 2 days. I was like, okay, I'm going to split it into 2 days. That's what I'm going to do. And then I do it all in one day. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing this. I ain't waiting. This is way too good.
Ensure that Kevin
It was so
wouldn't
good.
escape. The group splits
It was
into
so
two.
good.
Teresa, Bronya, and Einstein go to the Deep, an ancient city from the previous era, after responding to Kokolia's emergency
This
request
made me love
for
this
help,
game as well.
while May and Tesla continue to search for Kiana. The next few chapters focus on Bronya. We learn about her past, how she was raised in an orphanage in Siberia by Kokolia together with Rosalia, Lilia, and Sele. Unfortunately, after an experiment a few years back, Sele got trapped into the Sea of Quanta. Oh, and one important thing about Sele is that she has another personality born from her stigmata, which I'm gonna call Red Sele from now on.
Yeah, I mean, she is literally just called Zilla, so you can't say Zilla and Zilla, because, like, who the fuck are you talking about? So, yeah. Red Zilla. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. Okay, so during an experiment... Okay, gotta be honest, I don't even remember that. So during an experiment, Zilla got cast into the Sea of Quanta. Alright. And this is when we were saving her. Alright. Alright, I learned that again.
Group is
Insane.
being attacked by Shixal forces since she possesses the Gem of Desire, but Kokolia threw the gem into the Sea of Quanta to force cooperation from Einstein and the rest. Oh, did I mention that the Deep has a way to access the Sea of Quanta? And things get even more complicated when it is revealed that Kokolia was secretly working with Grey Serpent, who promised to bring Sela back from the sea, and Bronya is forced to
okay, yeah, her, yeah. I still remember when she tried to kill everyone. I remember she tried to kill everyone. She looks like she wants to kill everyone there. Oh my god, bro, she looks like such a bitch.
With Grey Serpent, who promised to bring Sela back when it is revealed that Kokolia was secretly working with Grey Serpent, who promised to bring Sela back from the sea, and Bronya is forced to dive into the Sea of Quanta alone. There, she meets a young boy named Joachim, who makes her undergo several trials in different bubble worlds where she reunites with Sele. The young boy is later revealed to be Wal Tiang, who crafted these trials to pass on his Hersher powers to Bronya, who becomes the new Hersher of Reason. Meanwhile, Sele finds herself in a bubble world created from Kevin Kaslana's memories, the leader of War Serpent and the ancestor of Kiana's family. Inside this bubble world, Sele witnesses how Kevin and his companions failed to stop the Hersher of Corruption from destroying the last remaining human cities 50,000 years ago. Kevin retrieves the Gem of Desire and is finally able to leave the Sea of Quanta, defeating both Bronya and Welt. Thankfully, everyone survives and Bronya and Sele are reunited after many years. In the following chapters, we see how Kiana tries to cope with the events that happened 4 months ago. Overwhelmed by guilt, Kiana attempts to end her own life, but she's stopped by Fu Hua, who attach her consciousness to Kiana before.
Oh my god, I put that in the thumbnail, bro. I put this in the thumbnail. I was like, this is something you have to put it. I remember this. Oh my god.
Her own life, but she is stopped by Fu Hua, who attach her consciousness to Kiana before being shot by Arrow. With Fu Hua's help, the Hersher of the Void's consciousness is suppressed, and Kiana gains partial control over her Void powers. Meanwhile, War Serpent tries to blow up an entire city using a bomb powered by Honkai energy. Kiana, using her Hersher powers, takes the bomb into the stratosphere, where it detonates and Kiana is hit with the Honkai energy from the explosion. Stratosphere, where it detonates and Kiana is hit with the Honkai energy from the explosion. As she falls, Kiana is caught by Durandal, the strongest Shixal Valkyrie, who captures her and takes Kiana to a Shixal base in Africa. Kiana is unable to escape Durandal until the base is attacked by Word Serpent. Using the Chaos as cover, Kiana escapes but is confronted by Kevin. Fu Hua, who is revealed to be Kevin's old companion and a survivor from the previous era, stalls Kevin enough for Kiana to escape. Consumed by anger and regret, Kiana teleports to Nagazora, the city where she first met May and Bronya 3 years earlier. Mei and Tesla pick up a signal left by Kiana and arrive at Nagazora. They follow her and meet a homeless girl named Sora, who, along with other children, lives in the ruins of the city. The children are cared for by an individual they call Sensei, revealed to be Raven, an agent of Word Serpent who is there to kill Kiana. While they initially work together to fight Kiana, Mei and Raven eventually fight. After witnessing Mei's determination, Raven relents and allows her to reunite with Kiana. The two are reunited once more, but this time it is revealed that the Herschel cores are poisoning Kiana and she only has 2 months left to live. After learning this harrowing truth, Mei desperately searches for a cure, and the only one who promises a solution is none other than Kevin Kaslana. Kevin tells Mei that she must become the Herrscher of Thunder again, which will remove the Gem of Conquest from Kiana's body, giving them enough time to implement Project Stigma and save the world from Honkai. To do this, Mei agrees to join Word Serpent and help them. While all this happens, Atto and Kevin form an alliance. Atto opens up an imaginary singularity in Nagazora, and Mei absorbs the Honkai energy to become the Herrscher of Thunder once more. After hearing what happened, Kiana tries to stop Mei from leaving, but after a heart-wrenching conversation, Mei departs with the Word Serpent.
Yeah, this is where we get onto the Elysia realm arc. But yeah, so yeah, I remember them fighting, bro. Sorry, I'm not speaking for a while. I'm just trying to focus and take it in because, like I said before, I don't remember too much. I'm trying to remember to take everything in. Like I do remember these scenes. When I see them, I remember these scenes. Like I remember them fighting, and oh my god, freaking Al, I remember him. Like I remember those two fightings. Yeah, so she was fighting Kiana to get the power. Yeah. Okay.
Mei, now a Word Serpent agent, is sent with
oh my god, I forgot about this. I forgot this happened in between.
to a tropical island called Coral Island.
I forgot this happened.
A newly formed Herrscher, the Herrscher of Ice. It turns out that the Herrscher of Ice is a former Schicksal Valkyrie named Anna Shariak. They also meet Owl, another Word Serpent agent. Owl and Anna knew each other as Anna saved his life a few years prior. Owl betrays Raven and Mei to protect Anna, and they both end up combining into a super Herrscher called the Herrscher of Rhymestar. Mei and Randall manage to defeat the monster and obtain both the core of ice and the core from the newly formed Herrscher of Stars. Remember that a while ago Atto shot Fuhua in the head? Well, while all of this was happening, the Herrscher of Sentience awoke in Fuhua's body. Fuhua is immortal, so after Atto shot her, he put her into a healing pod. But Fuhua transferred her consciousness before she was shot, so there was no one in her body to wake up, which turned out to be the perfect opportunity for the Honkai to take over. The Herrscher of Sentience, who had Fuhua's memories when she woke up, killed one of Atto's clones, destroyed one of Word Serpent's bases, and fought Kevin, after which she gained possession of the feather that housed Fuhua's real consciousness.
Well, I do not remember this at all. Wait, what the fuck? I think chapter 20 to 22 is like a whole blank in my memory. I don't remember any of this at all.
Kevin killed one of Atto's clones, destroyed one of Word Serpent's bases, and fought Kevin, after which she gained possession of the feather that housed Fuhua's real consciousness. From there, the Herrscher of Sentience and Fuhua visit Mount Taishuan, a place where Fuhua lived for many millennia. There, the Herrscher of Sentience has a whole identity crisis until she realizes that she's not the real Fuhua. Meanwhile, Kiana and Bronya also visited the same place to look for some techniques left behind by Fuhua that help them control their Herrscher powers. After they arrive, they witness Fuhua's memories spanning her 50,000 years life, which turned out to be planned by the Herrscher of Sentience to make them learn more about Fuhua. Then the Herrscher of Sentience makes Kiana and Bronya decide who is the better Fuhua. Of course, Kiana and Bronya choose the Fuhua they know, and the Herrscher of Sentience throws a temper tantrum, but they end up defeating her. After a while, the Herrscher of Domination...
Oh my god, this arc! Oh my god, bro, this was crazy.
Who has the power to copy negative human emotions and create up to 1,000 puppets from them, is wreaking havoc around the world. The first part of this arc focuses on Cele and the dynamic between her and her counterpart. Cele is slowly becoming more mature, and the other Cele grows scared, thinking that Cele will no longer need her. The Herrscher of Domination tries to exploit that fear, but both Celes manage to overcome it, and Cele gives the other Cele full control of the body for the first time. The latter part of
So
the
cool.
arc focuses on
So
Kiana.
cool.
After a failed attempt to stop the Herrscher of Domination, Kiana gets dragged into the Theater of Domination, a separate dimension belonging to the Herrscher. There, the Herrscher of Domination wakes up the Herrscher of the Void inside Kiana by showing Kiana proof that Himeko is indeed dead. We finally learn that Kiana and the
Oh yeah, because she was like, oh yeah, I do remember she was like saying, like she was like telling herself that she wasn't dead. She wasn't dead, but she is dead.
By showing Kiana proof that Himeko is indeed dead. We
Her
finally
pissed-
learn
made
that
her
Kiana
angry.
and the Herrscher of the Void personality are both personalities born from Syrian's wishes. Kiana represents her wish to live a normal life, and the Herrscher of the Void is her wish for revenge. Kiana defeats
Sorry,
the
let me listen to that again.
Void personality are both personalities born from Syrian's wishes. Kiana represents
Why am I blanking right now?
Void personality that Himeko is indeed dead. We finally learn that Kiana and the Herrscher of the Void personality are both personalities born from Syrian's wishes. Kiana represents her wish to live a normal life, and the Herrscher of the Void is her wish for revenge.
Oh, okay.
Kiana defeats the Herrscher of the Void and gains full control over the Herrscher powers. After a brief reunion and goodbye
Yep.
with Himeko's after image inside the Gem of Haste, Kiana defeats the Herrscher of Domination and becomes the Herrscher of Flame Saiyan, commanding both the powers of Void and Fire. The time
Yeah, I
has
remember
finally
that.
come for Ado to put his 500
Oh, I
years
remember
long
this.
plan into motion and
I
bring back
remember
his
this.
childhood friend and love of his life, Kalen Kaslana. Ado resigns as Schicksal Overseer and
Bro, 26 to 28 was a fucking wild ride, bro. That was when I took like a month break from the game. Well, I went on holiday, so I couldn't play, and then I freaking redid all of chapter 25 to 27 just so I could go to 28 with the proper mindset. Like I did all of that. That was crazy. I did all that over the weekend before I did it. But this arc was crazy, bro. This arc was
love
crazy.
of his life, Kalen Kaslana. Ado resigns as Schicksal Overseer and passes down the title to Teresa. He then lures the Senfreya group and Anti-Entropy to Colosten, where the old Schicksal HQ was located, using the Core of Domination as bait. When they arrive, Ado does his best to get on everyone's nerves, secretly preparing trials and obstacles for them to overcome and grow, while also furthering his plan. We finally learn that Durandal is the real Kiana, who was thought to be dead for 10 years. With her real identity revealed, Durandal teams up with Kiana to deal with Ado once and for all. Ado had amassed an infinite amount of imaginary energy by forming a connection with the for all. Ado had amassed an infinite amount of imaginary energy by forming a connection with the imaginary tree, becoming a false god. However, he still couldn't realize his plan, but he used Kiana's hatred for him to make her use the power of the Herrscher of the Void on him, which allowed his soul to free itself from the constraints of the tree. This enabled Ado to reach the wedge of the world, where he created a branching timeline in which Kalen never died 500 years ago, finally realizing his long-lasting wish at the cost of his life.
The big one is on now at Nissan. Get 1% finance on select Navara models or across the entire X-Trail range when you finance with Nissan. Hurry, the big one ends March 31st.
Let's do this.
We know like
Sensodyne
Oh my god.
Realize his plan, but he used Kiana's hatred for him to make her use the power of the Herrscher. Kalen never died 500 reached years ago, finally realizing his long-lasting wish at the cost of his life.
Alright,
After
yeah.
Ado's story
Oh my god.
concludes, it's time to cover Elysian Realm, which I'm not going to do in this video. Look, Elysian Realm is massive, so I'll link you some of my other
Oh, okay. Well, we won't watch these, but it's fine. We won't watch these, but this was crazy. This was actually crazy. Like, we met so many new people who all were all already dead and everything. Oh man, that's where we met Grisio, who actually wasn't dead. Who wasn't dead. Obviously, that Fu Hua was there. Kevin was there. Obviously, Alicia, Ponia, Mobius, Callan, Cosma, Calpus, Pardophilius, Ellen? Wait. I think her name was Ellen. I think the one with a reddish, purplish hair.
videos where I do a full story.
This was
recap
crazy.
for it. Please
I watched this. I watched most of this all on YouTube. Like the main parts on YouTube, like chapters 1 to 4, because it was just annoying. it was half of it was just a waste of time, just fighting in like a floor-based system. I was like, I ain't fucking doing this. So I watched it all on YouTube.
realm is massive, so I'll link you
So
some
technically on my account, I haven't actually done the Elysian realm.
of my other videos where I do a full story recap for it. Please watch those to fully understand it. Kevin has finally implemented Project Stigma, which placed every person on Earth inside a giant collective dream. He also hijacked the authority of finality from the cocoon. Project Stigma aims to merge the consciousness of all humans into a giant dream, which in turn would give birth to physical manifestations of human ideas, which are basically living stigmata who can coexist with the Honkai. All the people who had a naturally awakened stigmata were transported to the moon, and all active Herschers were thrown into the Sea of Quanta. There, May and Kiana finally reunite, and with the help of some familiar faces, they manage to unlock the mental constraints on their authorities and escape from the Sea of Quanta and confront Kevin on the moon.
I wish we got sorry, this is a side thing. I really wish we got an animation like this for like the final battle. I wish we got a full-length animation just for this that looks like this. Oh my god. Like, holy fuck, that would have went insane. Like, a whole, like, even like a movie, bro. A movie like this, holy fuck. That'd go crazy. That would actually go crazy. Holy shit. Bro, I want that so bad. But I wish there was like a whole, maybe like a 3, 4, 5-minute cutscene where it was this animation and they were fighting. That'd be so good.
Mental constraints on their authorities
That'd be
and
so
escape
good.
from the Sea of Quanta and confront Kevin on the moon. Unfortunately, Kevin outmatches them in combat. This is when Mistaline, a Word Serpent agent behind Project Stigma, traps Kiana, May and Bronya inside a dream, intending to take control over the powers of the Hersher of Reason. As the story progresses, we learn that Mistaline's true goal was to help Bronya awaken as the Hersher of Truth, the complete form of the Hersher of Reason. Afterward, the group returns to Earth, only to find that most of it has already been consumed by Project Stigma. Anti-Entropy and Schicksal come up with a plan together to stop Kevin. Durandal, Fuhua, Teresa and Sela enter the giant dream to steer the wheel of the humans trapped there and make them
I
want to
remember
wake up
that.
on their own. While there, they also steal a part of Kevin's authority. May reclaims the lost authority of Origin, which once belonged to Alicia, becoming the new Hersher of Origin. Kiana, after absorbing all Hersher authorities, is recognized by the Cocoon as the true Hersher of Finality. Then, they battle Kevin one final time and defeat him, finally surpassing his ambition. Kiana gets the full authority of Finality and becomes the new goddess of Earth. Since Earth is still recovering from Project Stigma, Kiana remains on the moon to siphon all the Honkai energy there and find a way to convert Honkai energy.
Star Rail! Sorry. Sorry.
Kiana remains on the moon to siphon all the Honkai energy there and find a way to convert Honkai energy into regular energy so that it won't threaten humanity in the future. And this
So sorry. I got distracted with the freaking Star Rail thing that I freaking threw me off for a second. Oh, and I was thinking, like, what if Star Rail, the whole of Star Rail, is just a dream? It's just like this place. Oh, that'd be fucking.
Kiana remains on the moon to siphon all the Honkai energy there and find a way to convert Honkai energy into regular energy so that it won't threaten humanity in the future. And this is pretty much the story of Part 1 summarized, but we're not done yet.
Yeah, Part 1.5.
There's still Part 1.5, which is split into two big halves. So, let's start with Sela's arc. Sela is made into a bubble world that's actually two bubble worlds existing in the same space.
Oh my god, this is crazy. Oh my god. This was Honkai Impact is a mind-boggling, like, oh my god.
Red Sela and Blue Sela are separated. As they search for each other, they meet Vita, a cheerful
a very nice, innocent lady. Yeah, she's nice. She's very kind. She's lovely. She's such a lovely woman. She's definitely not gonna try and kill us eventually, will she?
Bubbly girl who offers to serve as their guide. Later we found out that Vita is from Venus and that 250 million years ago Venus also fought the Cocoon of Finality but was destroyed. The two bubble worlds are on the brink of destruction.
Wait, how long ago? 250 oh, okay. Jesus Christ. 250 million years ago. Jesus.
The Cocoon of Finality but was destroyed. The two bubble worlds are on the brink of destruction and the one behind this is being referred to as Sa, the abyss of the Sea of Quanta. Sa is a being that evolved to be similar to the Cocoon of Finality and is planning to destroy the two bubble worlds to harness the energy resulted from their destruction. To stop Sa, they need to create a new Hersher that is born in the Sea of Quanta and use its authority. To stop Sa, they need to create a new Herrscher that is born in the Sea of Quanta and use its authority to cut the connection between Sa and the bubble worlds. Vita is revealed to be Sa's proxy, a clone of Sa that is going around the Sea of Quanta to harness energy. It is also revealed that Sa was the last survivor of Venus and gained some power from the Sea of Quanta. After millions of years of growing, Sa became a being similar to the Cocoon of Finality. After Cele becomes the Herrscher of Rebirth, she manages to defeat Vita and cut off Sa's connection to the two bubble worlds. Vita then reveals that this was part of her plan to free herself from Sa's clutches and be free. After thanking Cele, Vita disappears. The second half happens on a dwarf planet at the edge of the solar system called Phosphorus. Fuhua is teleported there and be free. After thanking Cele, Vita disappears. The second half happens on a dwarf planet at the edge of the solar system called Phosphorus. Fuhua is teleported there by a mysterious force. There, Fuhua meets 7 city representatives who all look like child versions of Vita. As Honkai beasts keep appearing on Phosphorus, Fuhua and the small Vitas begin investigating. Soon, Fuhua learns that Phosphorus was, in fact, created from the seeds carried by Grisio, one of her fellow flame chasers from the previous era, while implementing Project Arc. Project Arc was supposed to be
Bro, this is crazy how Zeta survived, like, all this time.
Chasers from the previous era while implementing Project Arc. Project Arc was supposed to be an alternative to Project Stigma, and Grisio was tasked with finding a suitable planet without Honkai to rebuild humanity. Sa lured Grisio here and stole the genomes from the Ark to create life. Grisio fell into a deep slumber, but Fuhua wakes her up.
And she's now an adult.
To learn that soon after Vita left the bubble world where she fought
Makes sense. I mean, it makes sense she was an adult. She was asleep for how long? 50,000 years? No, not 50,000 years, but she traveled for 50,000 years, right? So, it makes sense. Makes sense.
We also learned that soon after Vita left the bubble world where she fought Cele, she was captured by Sa and imprisoned inside a small pocket space in the Sea of Quanta. With Fuhua's help, Vita escapes. The one who brought Fuhua here was Su, another flame chaser and the same person who threw Kevin into the Sea of Quanta.
Wait, Su, I knew Su was, I actually didn't know that Su actually brought her there. Maybe my mind glossed over that part. But I knew Su was a thing and that his consciousness was still around, but I didn't know Su actually brought her there. Oh, okay. Okay. That must, my mind must have glossed over that during the quest.
Here was Su, another flame chaser and the same person who threw Kevin into the Sea of Quanta 1000.
Oh, and Su was the one that threw Kevin into there. Okay. I wish you said that before, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so, and Su was the one that threw Kevin into the Sea of Quanta before. Oh, okay. Interesting. Obviously, that would have been manga stuff.
Su, another flame chaser and the same person who threw Kevin into the Sea of Quanta 1,500 years ago. After ascending to a higher plane, Su was able to observe our world and came up with a plan to stop Sa by bringing Fuhua here. Fuhua, Grisio, Vita, and Mistalin managed to push Sa back, and just before Sa was about to flee, Kiana fires a beam of energy at it from the moon, essentially eradicating all its roots from the proper world. Inside the Sea of Quanta, Sa is extremely weakened, and Vita...
I don't remember that version of Sa at all. I don't remember that. I never saw that version of Sa ever. Was that an event? Was that something to do with an event, or am I tripping?
All its roots from the proper world. Inside the Sea of Quanta, Sa is extremely weakened, and Vita takes this opportunity to kill it and take over its authority. Now that she is completely free, Vita leaves Phosphorus, and her story will continue on Mars during Part 2.
Oh, so we're going to Mars, alright. Wait, let me read that.
Phosphorus to kill it and take over its authority. Now that she is completely free, Vita leaves Phosphorus, and her story will continue on Mars during Part 2.
So yeah, we're continuing Vita's story in Part 2. Alright, interesting. But I know we start on the moon, though. I know we start on the moon. Because... I mean, we see Kiana and that in the friggin' thumbnail for the friggin' quest, right? So, I am very interested to see how Part 2 is gonna go. Obviously, we also had the, a post-Honkai Odyssey, which did technically come out before, like, friggin' came out when Chapter 20 was out or something. Which is really weird. I don't know why they ever released a post-Honkai Odyssey, which was supposed to happen after everything of Part 1. And they released it before, like, years before Part 1 even ended. I find that really, really weird. Or actually, I'll sub. But yeah, that's most of the recap. I was going to say the entire story. Well, I wouldn't say the entire story. This is most of the story recapped. Obviously, we got the Elysian Realm and we got the post-Honkai Odysseys, which weren't recapped, but that was that. I think Honkai is a great game. It fucks with my brain, though. It definitely fucks with my brain because, like, there's so much information, so much stuff, and it's like, oh my god. A post-Honkai... Let me see if he did. I don't think he ever did a recap on that anyway. Doesn't look like it. How to that is the result of Project... Wait, hold up. What? Grisio is... Wait, let's see, this is like a theory. Grisio is Genshin's supreme god. How to that is the result of Project Arc. We might watch this and I might have this released on my extra channel. I might... Actually, you know what? I'm saving that. Even though this was 2 years ago, it might actually hold up. That would be awesome if Grisio is the main, like, supreme god. Because Grisio, if you don't know, is literally my favorite character in Honkai Impact. I think she's so cute, and then she's so adorable, she's so, like, nice and everything, and then she becomes an adult and everything, and then she's still alive, which is crazy. And obviously my second favorite is Kevin, who, gotta be honest, you know what, I'm not even gonna say it. I don't know why. Kevin is the character I want to fuck the most. Even though I'm straight. Don't ask me. I don't know why. But I think if Grisio is the supreme god of Genshin, of Teyvat, that would actually be crazy. Like, that'd be awesome since she is my favorite character. That'd be awesome. But anyway, we are way off topic here. Jesus Christ. Jesus. But yeah, that's this. I hope everyone did enjoy it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. I needed this recap. Recap because, yeah, I don't know why. Chat, like... Okay, let me get rid of this. I don't know why. Most of chapter 20 to 22 feel like it is like a complete blank. Oh no. I feel like a lot of this is like, yeah. I think chapter 20 and 21 is a complete blank for me. I didn't remember anything. I didn't remember the animation there was or anything. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I didn't do something, but no one said anything. So I'm not sure in the comments. I'm not sure. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I am very excited to do part 2 next week. For me right now, it's a Friday. This will be released Monday. I'll make a SimCity video on Monday as well. Episode 2, make sure you go check that out when it's released Wednesday. But I think I'll probably do part 2 because I think the start of part 2 only goes for like under 2 hours. So I'll be able to do that in one day. So maybe like Wednesday or Thursday, I'll do part 2, obviously, and have that released on the 24th. So 24th, start of part 2 that you could react to. I hope you guys will be there. It's going to be an amazing ride. Apparently, part of the first 3 chapters are slow as fuck. But who knows? I might enjoy it. I'm kind of used to Honkai Impact being a very slow, a very yap game. I'm used to that and I'm fine with it. Because, I mean, that's what the whole game is. And, well, we can't get out of that. So, like, I do enjoy it, though. I do enjoy it with the lore and everything. But, yeah, I hope everyone did enjoy it. Make sure to like and subscribe. And, yeah, I cannot wait for part 2, man. Because there is some things here that I was like, oh yeah, that happened. Oh yeah, that happened. Wait, that happened? I didn't remember that. You know, so I needed this recap. But yeah, I guess I'll see everyone in the next one. Bye!